I had a nice evening tonight. We did a live stream on Patreon. Tried the new show thing for Mondays. Went all right. Went all right. And we'll try it again next Monday, and we'll keep working through. And yeah, so kind of fun. Anyways, tonight we also had three games that had a ton of goals and one that had a decent amount. We had 10, 8, so 18, plus 7, 25, 32 divided by 4. We had 8 goals per game tonight. This video is brought to you by Scott Lahash, who is a patron at the $9 level. I'm going to work through all of that, and then I'm going to start at the start of the whole list, and I'm going to start working my way through, and we're going to get this all. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. And keep in mind that if you go to Elite Prospects, you want a paid membership with them, you want to try it out, you get the first 3 months at 25% off if you use the promo code THG25. All one word, capitalized THG, I believe. I don't know that it matters, capital or not. I have no idea. All right, that being said, moving along. Pittsburgh. There were 3 games played in this game. Pittsburgh and Boston. I'm not entirely happy as a Bruins fan coming out of tonight. I'm like, okay, got away by the skin of our teeth. We don't want to do this again. This isn't the kind of game you want to be playing, but they win. So I can only complain so much because when you get a win and your team's only lost 1 in regulation, it's nitpicking. But when a team's on a big winning streak like this, I do kind of look for them getting away with things, and it can sometimes affect a team negatively where they're like, oh, all right, well, we're good, and then all of a sudden a losing streak will come out of it. The good news is this is a very veteran team in Boston. I can't see that happening. Jake DeBrusk scored at 5 minutes and 24 seconds. The Penguins got a power play about halfway through, and that penalty kill was bailed out by Jaro Halak. Jaro Halak played very, very well in this one. Galchenyuk then hit the post. That was, I believe, during that power play as well, or just after it ended. And then Marchand the other way from Pastrnak and Chara at 13:05. And through one period of play, it's 2-0 for Boston. They're on home ice. Everything looks great. And in the second period, Pastrnak scores from Marchand and Carlo at 4:22. And that would signal the end of Murray's night, and Jarry goes in. So I don't really put it on Murray, to be honest. I don't. The Bruins can score at will. That first line can score at will. So when it happens, I don't look at a goaltender and go, oh, he's not playing very well. But at the same time, you don't always pull the goalie because he's not playing well. You pull it as well to send a message to your team, which may very well have been what Mike Sullivan was doing tonight. And it worked. A minute and 13 seconds later, Cahoon scores from McCann and Schultz at 5:35. Not long after, Bugstad from Letang and Dumoulin at 9:56. So Dumoulin was in tonight's game. The wife expecting the baby, either she had it or he went, just keep it. I'll be back after the game. Just don't have it yet. So 9:56, and then Rust scored from Malkin and Galchenyuk at 15:59. After that play, Jarry then robbed the Bruins. The Bruins had a really nice break in there to try to change the momentum, and then with 3 seconds left, Marino scores his first NHL goal. So in 1957, and his dad looked very proud in the crowd tonight. And John Marino's been quite the story for Pittsburgh. He is the reason why they could just say, all right, well, we can unload Goodbranson. It wasn't just the money. The money played a part, but the fact that Marino was ready this year, it really made a big difference. He has been a steal for Pittsburgh so far this year. Third period, pretty evenly played up until Krug scores from Marchand and Krejci at 8 minutes and 14 seconds. The Bruins get a power play at 11:47. They didn't score on it. There was actually a shorthanded breakaway by Brian Rust during that power play. So some white knuckle moments there. But with the tie, everything looks pretty good. Now on the Rust play, McAvoy hit his head on the post coming back to try to stop Rust. It didn't look good. He left the game, didn't come back that I saw. And so the Bruins blue line kind of getting beat up. Believe that Krug was out for a bit too there. So Let's just hope that there's nothing serious. But he hit the post with his helmet pretty hard, and in this day and age of concussions, it might take him out for a bit. Hoping that's not the case, though. The Penguins pressured for the lead. They did. They pressured for the lead. And I was a bit nervous. The Penguins looked like they were going to get a goal. The net gets knocked off. No goal. The puck went in the net, but the net was completely off. I'm bewildered as to what's going on right now with referees, where they don't seem to be willing to blow the whistle as easily for the net clearly being off the moorings. I'm not sure what it is. Marchand, however, would score at 18:03, and it was a beautiful individual effort for him. And I'm sure everybody will be really glad to know that Brad Marchand tonight, he ended up having a 5-point night because they pull the goalie down 5-4. He gets a secondary assist on a goal by Bergeron. Krejci could have scored on that empty net, but he wanted Bergeron to have the goal. That's in 1946, so Bergeron gets on the board. And 6-4 is your final score for Boston. Murray saved 8 out of 11. Jari saved 12 out of 14. Halak saved 40 out of 44. He was under siege a lot of the night. Your 3 stars were Marchand, Rust, and Pasternak. So, Krejci, I thought, had a good game, and he did end up with 2 helpers tonight, so pretty decent night all around. The shots were 10-9 Boston in the first, 21-6 Pittsburgh in the second, and in the third, 14-10 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, it was a pretty decently played game for Pittsburgh. Just Boston got the win. Final shots, as I said, 44-26. Pretty solid game all around for Pittsburgh. And Boston just has tremendous luck right now and skill. And that first line is deadly. The Penguins go 0-1 on the power play. Boston went 0-3. It didn't feel like that physical a game, really. But, we'll see. This rivalry is going to continue. All right, moving along. Ottawa. What in the blue? We know Ottawa's not going to go to the playoffs. But at the same time, what happened tonight is alarming. It's alarming that Ottawa was able to score 6. It's also alarming that the Rangers allowed 6 at home against the Ottawa Senators, a team that you're going to beat most nights. The Rangers tonight didn't. Now, the Rangers had pressure early. They got the first power play, and 7 minutes into this game, the shots were 5-0 Rangers. Ottawa wasn't awake. It looked like this was going to be an easy deal. Then there was a fight between D'Angelo and Beaudin, and that was a good battle that went on there. There were some fights tonight. And then Kakko scores from Fox and Lemieux at 8:47. This is a perfect goal. You get a goal from Kakko. It was needed that. You get another assist for Fox. I believe Fox had an assist in the last game as well. And Lemieux on the board. I think Lemieux, the potential's there for him to score more points. So that's a combination that's great if you're a Rangers fan. However, the shots are 10-1 Rangers at that point. This looked like it was going to be this lopsided mess in favor of the Rangers. And then, on Ottawa's third shot, the infamous third shot, right? Pajot from Duclair at 14:56. It was almost 15 minutes into that period, and they got their third shot. And then they got a power play, and the shooting gallery was on. Seriously, it was just, then Ottawa was getting shots. They get a 5-on-3. During the 5-on-3, Ennis scores from Shabbat and Nemesnikov at 18:31. Out of the first period, the shots are now favoring Ottawa, and they're up 2-1. And I'm thinking, huh? Second period, the Senators got the early power plays. Hainsey then scored from Tkachuk and Bodker at 4 minutes and 12 seconds. And again, that had me thinking, what? Huh? What's going on? And again, patrons saw that live. Pajot then scores at 11:43. That's followed up 3 minutes later by Tkachuk scoring at 14:56. It's 5-1 in favor of the Ottawa Senators in New York. Madison Square Garden, as dead silent as you can get. Before the end of the period, Panarin scores from Kakko and D'Angelo at 17:34. So I don't know. D'Angelo had a fight tonight and he had an assist. Panarin gets on the board. Kakko has a goal and an assist. That's progress? Sure. Third period, the Senators get a power play. Who scores on it? Nemesnikov. Of course he did. from Brown and Paul. So Connor Brown with the assist there. 5 minutes and 35 seconds. So Nemesnikov gets a goal and an assist. I've been, I kind of said last night, hey, I could do my own honorary star. Tonight's honorary star for the hockey guy is Nemesnikov. You get a goal and an assist against a team that got rid of you. Impressive. And the Rangers were actually ahead in shots still at this point in the game. They were down 6-2. And that's your final score. Ottawa wins 6-2 and Nemesnikov with a goal and an assist in it. I don't know. This is crazy. So for people who wonder, like, what does he do with the power rankings during the week? Right now, Ottawa is not in the bottom three. That's the first time that's happened all year. So I don't know if they're going to end up back in the bottom three by the end of the week. That's why I'm mentioning it on a Monday night. Nilsson, 32 saves on 34 shots. Georgiev, 24 saves on 30 shots. Your 3 stars, Nilsson, Pajot, and Tkachuk. The Senators go 2 for 6 on the power play. The Rangers go 1 for 4. Your shots, 14-11 in favor of Ottawa. The Rangers go 12, outshot them 12-10 in the second, and then outshot them 11-6 in the third. Nope. That's supposed to be 4. I'm sorry, that was 11-4. But they did generate 3 more shots before the end of the period. That's right. All right. So the third shot and then the fourth shot went in too. Sorry. Final shots were 34-20. This 34-30. No, that was right. What am I doing? All right. That's a 3, Shannon. That's a 3. All right. 34-30 were the shots in favor of the Rangers. I'll just blame the live stream. Blame Adam. That's what I'll do. Blame Adam. All right. 34-30 in favor of the Rangers in the shots. And Nilsson was pretty good. So Nilsson can get like an honorary mention too. But this game just threw me completely off. This is a game that I don't know how this happens. I don't understand how this happens. There's Rangers fans going, we know how it happens. We know exactly how it happens. This is a huge blow, though, for the Rangers. Absolutely. You've got to win at home against Ottawa. You just have to. All right, moving along. Nashville. This one won't take very long. Because, honestly, I have been very clear about Detroit. I talked about Detroit in the video I did during their 8-game losing streak. Then they won their next game, which felt pretty good, but they've gone right back to losing after. So my videos don't fix teams that are broken, contrary to popular belief. And here's the thing. Tonight, the Rangers scored first and lost 6-2. Detroit scores first and loses 6-1. Athanasiou scored from Hronek and Filppula at 2:35. 2 minutes and 35 seconds in, they get a goal. It's Athanasiou. He's a guy who desperately needed a goal for Detroit. Good. Excellent. Fantastic. The Wings were stuck at 1 shot at 7 minutes and 35 seconds, though. 1 shot, 1 goal. And it looked weird. Being outshot like that, and yeah. They would generate some shots before the end of the period. They got a power play. However, they still were stuck at 1 shot at the 11:37 mark. They got 6 more shots before the end of the first, though, but that was noteworthy. We go into the second, and it's all downhill from here. So if you're a Detroit fan, maybe it's better to just turn a game off after the first. It's sort of like watching the first 25 minutes of Requiem for a Dream. You can come out of the first 25 minutes of Requiem for a Dream and go, man, that was a great story. They're starting a business. They're in love. The mom's going to be on a show. Everything's going to go really well. I have a really good feeling about this movie. Just don't watch the rest. Goodfellas, any movie you can think of, just watch the first 25 minutes. Everything's good. Just don't watch the rest. Maybe Detroit games are like that. They're like Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, sure. Bonino scores from Hamhuis at 2 minutes. Turris then scored at 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Sisson scores from Ellis and Rinne at 6 minutes and 34 seconds. Duchesne scored from Ekholm at 7 minutes and 36 seconds. Yeah, that's 4 goals in 5 minutes and 36 seconds. It's insane. 4 goals in 5 minutes and 36 seconds. The Wings got a power play, and I said, yeah, they need a goal. They're down 4-1. They didn't get it. But they did get a fight between Dylan Larkin and Ellis. And Larkin was really physical tonight. I don't know. maybe all the losing is starting to get to him. The Predators got a power play out of all of it. Duchesne gets a power play goal from Forsberg and Yossi at 18 minutes and 30 seconds. I have to say, if Larkin's getting fed up with the losing and it's making him fight and, take a couple of shots at guys because he's mad, good. You shouldn't be okay with losing. You shouldn't just skate through it and go, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, at least we tried. There's nothing more frustrating than when you see a team lose like 6-2 or 6-1, and then at the end they go, yeah, it's frustrating, but we'll get through this. We'll be fine. And you're thinking, just get angry, something. Not necessarily going back to the whole San Jose thing. I think they're kind of, anyways, that we'll save that for talking San Jose later. Not in this video. Third period, the Predators got a power play at 6 minutes and 18 seconds, and I put on the board the Red Wings are stuck at 31. I really don't think the Red Wings are getting out of last place on the power rankings, and I don't think they're going to get out of last place overall in the NHL. Ottawa won tonight. Detroit lost. They could very well be the worst team in the National Hockey League. And again, Detroit fans are nodding right now going, yep. To which Rangers fans would go, hey, just a sec. Just a sec. Forsberg scores from Yossi and Johansson at 6 minutes and 52 seconds. That's on the power play. And then Larkin gets a double minor for high sticking, and I just put double minor to Larkin. Jeez, this is just awful. You have 6 minutes left, and Larkin takes a double minor, and then he was kind of skating around at center ice like, if somebody wants to go, I'm game. And he definitely had that chip on his shoulder, and again, I don't necessarily blame him. I just hope that nothing stupid comes out of it. Rene saved 23 out of 24 in the victory. Howard saved 11 out of 15. Then he was gone after those 4 goals in 5 minutes. Bernier comes in, saves 9 out of 11. Your 3 stars are Duchesne, Forsberg, and Yossi. The shots were 7-5 in favor of Nashville in the first. 15-10 Nashville in the second. So yeah, no, they had 4 shots after 11:37. Shots were 9-4 in favor of Detroit. For some reason, I kept thinking Detroit was the road team and Nashville was at home. I don't know why. But in watching that game, maybe it was the score, maybe it was just the crowd feeling, everything. It just felt like Nashville was the home team in this. Yeah. Power plays. Nashville goes 2 for 4. Good news for them. Bad news for Detroit, who also went 0 for 3 on the power play. So, yeah. Again, if you're a Detroit fan, how much further resigned do you get with these losses? Do you watch? Are we at that point? I've had seasons where a team that I cheer for is doing so badly I just don't watch their games. I'm like, yeah, that's enough for me. I've gone through enough. Usually it's not till like November, December, January, and it has to be an awful, just miserable start where I'm like, yeah, that's bad. I can't watch them. It's not right. Next up. Last up, actually, is Arizona and Edmonton. This might have been the best game of the night because these games are just lopsided. This is just mind-blowing. I think this one just... this one, predictable. And then this one here was 3 for Boston, 4 for Pittsburgh, 3 for Boston. This one, very nice back-and-forth game. McDavid scores from Draisaitl at 1:31. So early, it's the McDavid and Draisaitl show. And that's basically where you're at if you're Edmonton. This team will go as far as those guys will take them. Grabner then scored at 3 minutes and 29 seconds to tie it up. Garland then had a shot that rang off Koskinen's mask. It just pinged right here and went straight up and back. And it was a solid road period for the Coyotes. I really thought they played very well. I honestly thought they played a decent game tonight. Did they sit back in the third? Yeah. Did it cost them? Let's get there. Cassian took a penalty 22 seconds into the second period. Cassian, I thought, though, played a decent game. I did. I thought he played okay. Does he take bad penalties? Yes. Yeah, that's kind of part of his game. Solid penalty kill, though, by the Oilers. Then Grabner had a near miss that went wide of the net. He was going for a second of the game. The Oilers seemed to be on their heels a bit, and then Soderberg with a beautiful individual effort. All on Soderberg. No assists because he stole the puck and just went in and scored at 8:52. And at that point, it looked like Arizona was probably going to win this. McDavid then took a penalty at 12 minutes and 30 seconds. The good news for the Oilers and Oilers fans was that Arizona's power play wouldn't score any tonight. The Oilers got a power play with about 5 minutes left. Going into the third, down 2-1, they got a power play that went over into the third period. They didn't score either, though. They had those 2 power plays. That was it for them for the night, and they didn't score on either of them. There was then a penalty that made it 4-on-4 for 29 seconds. Granlund had a really good chance that he missed. So Marcus Granlund continues to seek his first goal as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. Pretty sure he hasn't got a goal yet. Coyotes were then pushing to add to the lead for a bit there in the middle of the period. It looked like they were, buzzing around and getting close. Draisaitl, McDavid combined. They were stopped by Kemper. Draisaitl ends up going past the net, throwing it out front. And McDavid was stopped by Kemper. Not a fantastic opportunity, but anytime McDavid's around the net, you got to be careful. Kemper then robbed Kassian. Kassian, really, that one I thought was going to go in. Again, I thought Kassian had a decent game. Haas ends up getting credited with a goal. This was originally given to Kassian at 15-19 from Benning and Chris Russell. I guess it wasn't touched by Kassian at all, but they gave it to Haas, and solid effort. And it was a reward for the fact that the Oilers in the third period really did have control of the game. So we go to overtime, and I put on the board solid point for both teams. Both teams will be very happy they got the point tonight. For Arizona, now you go for the win, and they did. Stepan gets the goal from Schmaltz at 2 minutes and 1 second. So Schmaltz continues his hot play. I think this was, they said, Stepan's first goal in 13 games, I want to say. So, maybe he'll get on a bit of a run. But for Arizona, this was a game that they win 3-2. This is the kind of game they probably would have lost last year, like 2-1, and people would have said, "Oh well, at least the defensive efforts there." And Kemper's great. Kemper was great. 26 saves on 28 shots. Koskinen saved 21 out of 24. Your 3 stars were Stepan, McDavid, and Haas. So pretty good game all around. I'm kind of surprised that there's 2 stars that are the Oilers in the overtime loss. I might have given something to Kemper, but that's me. Again, I got a soft spot for goaltenders when their save percentage is that high. Shots 8-7 in favor of Arizona in the first, 12-11 in favor of the Oilers in the second, 9-3 Oilers in the third. In the overtime, Arizona had both shots. The shots were 28-24 in favor of the Oilers altogether. Power plays 0-3 was Arizona, 0-2 was Edmonton. And there you go. 4 games. Again, I think this one just threw my whole night off. This is still just, that's the game of the week for me. That's the who predicted that game of the week, because that's insane. And just the amount of goals that were scored. Keep in mind, I only have seven magnets of each team. I'll go ahead and pick this up. 7 magnets of each team on the board. So teams got very close tonight to making me have to use extra or use all of one team, and didn't quite do that. So, other than the one game Vancouver had where they hit 8, I don't think anybody's hit 8 this year. I think there's just been the one game where somebody hit 8 goals. And the further we get into the season, the less likely we are to see this. This is unusual to see in November. I would expect this in October. By this time of year, you shouldn't see defenses playing like that. Goaltenders, too. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just tap it upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.